welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are here again with @Medico Khan. So if you are liking my video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and especially the line which I usually try to say in my every video, don't forget to turn this red subscribe button into the gray one. And personally, if you are finding anything which is incomplete in my video, anything which you else want, which else you want to be in my video, what any about any concept, about any topic, about anything, queries about the MBBS abroad, you can DM me on my Instagram directly. Anything related to study, anything if you want to get motivated, anything, you can DM me anytime. I am for you. Teaching is my passion. That's why I'm doing that. So I want my subscriber who are subscribing me, who are believing in me. You can question me anytime. What else you want, you can ask me. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So today we are with a new chapter, that is joints. We are finished with the skeletal part of the first year. There are some 2 to 3 topics more in the skeletal part which we will study in our further classes in the second year. So first year skeletal system of yours is completely complete. So now we are starting a new chapter, that is joints. What basically joint is, let's take it in a normal way. What is a joint? This is basically a connection like this you have to connect it, then this is a joint. So same as in the case of the bone of cartilage also. Joint between two or more. Joint is a junction between two or more bones or cartilage which permit the movement. Like here you can see there are two bones, they are connecting. So this is the junction between two or more cartilage or bone which permit the movement. They can move also like this, like we studied in our skeletal part. And also there are some immovable joints which are meant for the growth, which are meant for the molding during the childbirth. And some immovable joints are also meant for the bone fusion for in at the further age development. Like if a child born, you know very well there that when the child is born, there are more bones, there are more cartilage, they fuse together after some times and then they come in work. So as that there are some immovable joints which are not able to move. They are meant for the molding of the childbirth. And there are also some immovable joint which fuse together and after some time they will come in the work. So today we will study about the classification of the cartilage. We can classify the cartilage on the 4 bases, that is according to structural, functional, regional and according to the articulating bone. So in today's topic we will study all about the structural classification of the joint. Now we are doing the structural classification of the joint. We are having 3 types of the structural classification in the joint. They are fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. So fibrous joints are further divided into the 3 categories. They are sutures, syndesmosis and gomphosis. Cartilaginous joints are also further divided into the 2 categories, that is synchondrosis and symphysis, while the synovial joints are further divided into the 7 categories. They are plain synovial joint, hinge synovial joint, pivot synovial joint, condylar synovial joint, ellipsoid synovial joint, saddle synovial joint and ball and socket synovial joint. You studied earlier about the synovial joint in your school knowledge, but the names can be different and there are some more synovial joints you have to study here. So now firstly we will study about the sutures under the fibrous structural joint. So inside the fibrous we are discussing about the first type of classification, that is sutures. Sutures are the joints between the skull that is made up of thin layer, and it is further divided on the 3 types which depend on its edge. How its edge is made up of, it can change its category, like it will come under in which categories among the 3. Look, whenever you are studying, you just have to use the keywords. As I always try to use the keywords in my videos, you also have to be at the keywords. Never try to write the whole sentence, because your brain cannot remind all the things. You just need keywords like joint, skull, thin membrane. Three types depend on the edge. Just simple. It's completed. So it is now further divided into the three types, that is sutura plana, sutura squamosa, and sutura serrata. In this is anatomical terminology. In English terminology, you can also say plain suture, serrate suture, and squamous suture. But while answering to your professor, you have to use the anatomical terminology, because if you are not using it, they may also cut your marks. Like my professor did, he scolded us a lot just because we didn't took the anatomical name. So be with the anatomical name always, and it's not that much difficult. That is sutura plana, sutura squamosa, sutura serrata. So how is sutura plana? It will have a straight edge. If it is having a straight edge, there is no something like something very much these kind of things, then it is a straight edge and it is found in the facial bone. Sutura squamosa, the edges which are zigzag in nature, they are not straightforward. You will count it under the sutura squamosa, and you will found it in the cranial portion. Sutura serrate, which overlap each other. An example of the sutura serrate is which connects the temporal and parietal part. So at the temporal and parietal part, you will find sutura serrate. At the at the cranial portion, you will find sutura squamosa, while at the facial bone, you will find sutura plana. And one more important thing, they come under the continuous joint. Joints are further also divided into the continuous, non-continuous, and in between continuous and non-continuous. So sutures come under the continuous. Now we will study about the second type of structural classification of the joints in the suture. So the second type is syndesmosis. It is a type of connection created by ligament plus of interosseous membrane. So it is created by the two things, that is ligament and interosseous membrane. And the neighboring bones are connected by ligament in the form of thin connective tissue. What ligament is, you studied already about the detailed classification, about the detailed study. You study a detail about the ligaments in the skeleton part. So here ligament is strengthen the joint and direct or restrict the movement. Like if the ligament is present, so it will give a strength to that joint, and it will direct whether the joint have to move or whether the joint don't have to move. And if it is moving, in which direction it is moving, it is guided by the ligament. And majority of the ligaments are formed of the collagen fiber. There are also some ligament which are form of the elastic fiber, like ligament flava, which is form of the elastic fiber, but majority of the ligament are formed by the collagen fiber. Now we are moving to the interosseous membrane. What is interosseous membrane? Interosseous membrane is formed between the diaphyses of the tubular bone. So you studied already all about a long bone. What is epiphysis? What is diaphysis? What is metaphysis? So formed between the long parts of the tubular bone. As you know that in the long bones, if there are two bones, so the membrane between these, like this is bone, and here is also a thin bone. So the ligament which connect these two bones is known as interosseous membrane, which provide the mobility to the connected bones and which serve as a place of beginning of the muscle. Muscle will begin from that particular membrane. Now we will study about the third type, that is gomphosis. So gomphosis is not that much vast. You just have to study a sentence about the gomphosis. It is found at the root of the tooth and the alveolar cavity, or you can also say simply at the mandible part, simply between the teeth and the mandibular part of the mouth. So now we are moving to the second type, that is cartilaginous classification. About the cartilaginous classification of the joint. Cartilaginous structural classification of the joint. What is cartilaginous? Cartilaginous structural classification of a joint? So the articulation formed by the cartilage is called cartilaginous joint or synchondrosis, or in the anatomical terminology it is called as junctura cartilaginea. Junctura cartilaginea. Be with the anatomical terminology always. You can't always afford the English terminology while giving your oral exam or written exam in the anatomy test. If you are studying anatomy, then it's must that you have to use the anatomical terminology. So what is synchondrosis? Synchondrosis have considerable amount of strength plus elasticity due to its high elastic property of the cartilage. They are further divided into the two types. They are constant synchondrosis and the another one is temporary synchondrosis. Constant synchondrosis is those type of synchondrosis which exist throughout the life and which can be found in the intervertebral disc. Temporary synchondrosis are those synchondroses which are replaced by the bone tissue after attainment of a certain age in the life. They were replaced by the bone tissue and they are found in the epiphyseal cartilage of the tubular bone. You studied already in the long bone. If you're not remembering what is epiphyseal cartilage of the tubular bone, then please go back at the topic of explanation of long bones fully explained. Go there in the skeletal playlist and study it, then you will know what is epiphyseal cartilage of a tubular bone. Now we are moving to the other category other category of the joints classic. So now we are here at our third type of classification, that is synovial joints. Whenever you are studying anything which are classified into different type, which are classified into n number of classification, then you have to always remember from the first step to the last step. Like here we started from the joints, then classification, then structural classification, and among the structural classification, this was the third type of the classification which we had to study. So now we are here at the synovial joint, and when you came at the last step of your studying, then you have to further go from the least to the top, that are you for checking yourself that are you remembering that concept or not. So what is synovial joint? This is a type of discontinuous joint. It is most evolved and most mobile type of joint. It's articular. It is covered with the articular surface, and articular surface is covered with a hyaline cartilage. This is an approximate thickness of the articular surface, which will be between 0.2 to 6 mm. It is not exact but approximate. In between the articular surface, the joints are filled with fluid-filled cavity. So you know very well whenever we are talking about the synovial, so the fluid-filled cavity will be synovial fluid. You know very well about the function of the synovial fluid. And the joints are surrounded with the articular capsule. Articular capsule is made up of fibrous capsule and it is lined by the synovial membrane. Now we will look what is fibrous capsule and what is synovial membrane. So the articular capsule is also divided into the two types, that is fibrous membrane and synovial membrane. Fibrous membrane situated just outside the synovial membrane. Synovial membrane inside, and fibrous membrane is formed by the fibrous connective tissue. At some places, fibrous connective tissue thicken due to the ligament which strengthen the capsule, which strengthen the articular capsule. While the synovial membrane is lined by the fibrous membrane from the inside. It will work, whatever have to done, it will work from the outside, while the synovial membrane will work from the inside. It lined the fibrous membrane from inside. Synovial membrane form micro protrusion. which will have a synovial villi, which will help to increase the surface area of the articular capsule. Now we will study the type of the synovial joints. Now we are here at the types of the synovial joints. We have 7 different types of the synovial joint. We are starting with the plain synovial joint. Plain synovial joints are those joints which are having which are having flat articular surface, and they permit the gliding movement, or you may say the transitional movement. Examples are there on the screen. Have a look, please. Hinge synovial joints are those joints which are pulley in shaped and move and allowed to move only in one direction, that is in the transverse direction. Examples are on the screen. Pivot joint. Pivot synovial joints are those joints who are having central body pivot, and they also allow the movement only in one plane, that is around the vertical plane. Look, what is the difference between the hinge and pivot? They are totally opposite. It allows the movement around the transverse axis. Pivot allows the movement along the vertical axis. Examples: condylar synovial joints. They are two distinct condyle. You can also say it as bicondylar. Main direction of the condylar synovial joints only in the one plane. It allows the main movement only in the one plane, that is transverse action. But partly it allows it in the vertical axis also. Examples. Now we are moving to our fifth type of the synovial joint. So now the fifth synovial joint is ellipsoid synovial joint. It has free movement. It can move along with the transverse axis, or it can move along with the anterior posterior axis. Flexion and extension will be done along the transverse axis, while the abduction and adduction will be done along the anterior posterior axis. Examples are there on the screen. Note it. Saddle synovial joint. Our sixth joint is saddle synovial joint. Saddle synovial joint's movement will be similar to the ellipsoid joint. In addition, saddle joints have rotation also, but its rotation cannot be done independently. It needs a central axis for the rotation. Examples are there on the screen. Please note whatever example is showing on the screen. It is really very helpful, and it is always asked by the professors in the class. Our last type of synovial joint is ball and socket joint, which have indefinite axis with one common central. It means it just need a one common axis, and it can do its movement in any direction. There is no definite direction, that no restricted direction, that it cannot move there, it cannot move there. Ball and socket joint can move anywhere, but it just need a common central. Examples are there on your screen. So guys, with that much knowledge in this video, we are ending up here. Anything you need to say, any questions you want regarding anything, you can DM me on my Instagram. The link is below in the disclaimer. Thank you for watching.